Cameras. So how in the world is he still free? Well, Vandersloot spent the day being questioned by Dutch investigators and pledged to answer any question. And you can bet many of those focused on the new tapes of him discussing his night with Holloway. Let's bring in law enforcement expert Mike Brooks and from Miami, former U.S. Attorney Kendall Coffey. Let me start with you, Mike. Why hasn't he been arrested yet? It has been so long. Little pieces of information keep trickling out. Then there's that tape. Why has he not been arrested yet?
Again and again and again. You know, so we're back to square one, Rochelle. But the chief prosecutor in Aruba has said right now that so far the threshold to rearrest him has not been met. So right now there's kind of an appeal process going on, and there's a 3-judge appellate panel that has 8 days to take a look at everything and decide, okay, are we going to rearrest him or not? Now, is the evidence and the information they're trying to glean today from the interview in Holland, you know, will that play into this? It sure should, and I think Kendall would agree with me. You know, it's just, you know, we've been through this 3 other times, and you know, the whole thing is the roller coaster ride that Natalee Holloway's parents are on every time they hear something like this. It's just got to be.
It keeps coming. It keeps coming. Let's remind everyone where we are. We're going to go play one of the most compelling clips from this secret tape that has been released, where Joran talks about, this is a quote, "They're not going to know a thing." Let's go ahead and play that tape right now.
He took the boat, he went far out, and he threw her over the side. Then he came back and he docked his boat there. And he came by my house for a bit.
At night?
Yeah. Then we talked for a bit, and he says to me, you know, it's all good. She's going to be missing, they're going to search, but they're not going to know a thing.
Okay, Joran there is talking about a friend of his that he says he brought into this whole scenario to dispose of Natalee's body. Is a clip like that, a tape like that, Kendall, is that admissible in Aruban courts?
Well, the prosecutor says so, and the reason is that while it might seem sort of questionable to undertake this male bonding, hours of pot smoking strategy to try to get somebody to talk, it was all done by private citizens acting without orchestration of law enforcement. So because it was private individuals rather than public authorities that set this whole thing up, it appears that that tape will be admissible.
Mike, if you could get your hands on him today, Joran's attorney has said that there's no question that's off the table. He has said, my client will answer any question today. If you were to get another shot at him to ask him more questions with a tape like this being out today, what would you want to ask him today?
You know, I'd want to find out what his state of mind, number one, when the tape was made. I think he's probably been asked every conceivable question by Aruban prosecutors, by Dutch prosecutors. You know, I've always asked why, you know, I know it's a great investigative tool, and as an investigator, I've used it before. Do the Dutch use polygraph? Why has he, if all this is a lie, as his attorney, Joe Tacopina, is saying, okay, well, let's give him a polygraph, and just to find out and kind of get a baseline. Is he being truthful or not? You know, I mean, yes, it might not be admissible in United States courts and possibly in Dutch courts and Aruban court, but I still think it's a great investigative tool.
Kendall, do you think that he will ever actually be arrested?
I do, and he hasn't been arrested so far now because it's still in the investigative stage. No formal charges have been brought. Aruban law allows you to arrest somebody before the investigation's over if it's serious enough stuff, strong enough evidence for something like murder, but they can't sustain that. Doesn't mean that at the end of this investigation there won't be charges brought. They could be things like disposing of a human body. They could be things like failing to render aid to someone in need. But the fact that there are lesser charges, even if it means that there's lesser justice, it's better than no justice at all for Natalee Holloway. And
I'm sure that Natalee's mother, Beth Twitty, would agree. Former U.S. Attorney Kendall Coffey, thank you for that, and I saw you nodding in agreement. Law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks, thank you.
Thank you, Rochelle.
And make sure to join Nancy Grace tonight on Headline News. She'll talk to Natalee Holloway's father. The only place to see the exclusive interview is right here. Nancy Grace, 8 and 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Headline News. Deep snow shuts down a Wisconsin highway, trapping 800 people in their cars. Their heroes, the National Guard, coming to rescue on snowmobiles.
Nobody intimidates our clients. Nobody. If you've worked on the books all of your life and now you're disabled and you can't work anymore, don't let anybody intimidate you. Call 1-800-66-BINDER.
We know why we're here. To stand behind all who serve.
To deliver the technologies vital to freedom.
To help carry hope to those in need. Boeing are working together for what matters most.
That's why we're here.
Introducing Renewin, the only intensive release supplement for joint care and energy. Renewin with glucosamine and chondroitin improves joint comfort, joint mobility, and boosts energy. Renewin in stores now.
Activon Ultra Strength Arthritis. Apply directly where it hurts. Activon. Safe and effective pain relief. Activon Ultra Strength Arthritis. In stores now. Head on. Apply direct.
Head on. Apply directly to your forehead. Head on. Apply. Head on. I can't stand your commercial, but your product is amazing.